stylz TV.
B96, and if you're hanging out with us today, man, we want to say welcome back to the Shy. We got Lupe Fiasco chilling on the Comcast couch. What's up, my man?
What up, sir? How's things?
Things are good,
Things are
man.
real good.
Things are great. How are things with you?
Can't complain, man.
Yeah.
Doing phenomenal.
Yeah, right.
Phenomenal, man. Phenomenally well.
Is this weird? I mean, because obviously you travel all over the country and you do interviews at different stations and stuff. I'm assuming you've heard of B96 being from Chicago. Is it weird to kind of come back as like a celebrity on a hometown station?
B96, what's that?
It's your favorite radio station.
Nah,
you know that, right?
that's my jump. I've been
Yeah.
down since. Is Julian Jumping Perez still here?
He
Is
actually been
still
here for a
here?
long
Yeah,
time,
he's,
but
but
Bad
he's not
Boy
here
Bill?
anymore, though.
Yeah,
He's
Bad
not
Boy
here.
Bill.
I
Yeah,
was
man.
down since then, listening to techno music when I was about like, 12?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? On my house system, bumping B96. So yes, I am definitely a fan, definitely aware, and I'm very excited to be back. You know, it's like crowning achievement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? To come back and be like, I'm on B96.
And that's the same way that we look at it too, because we were both grew up in Chicago,
Yeah, for
you know,
sure.
stuff like that, and we've listened to Eddie and Jobo and like Bad Boy Bill, like you said, and now we're actually the DJs talking on the radio.
Yeah.
So it's the same with us. So like when you went to Thornton
yeah.
High School,
Yeah.
you grew up on, and I was at West Side or South Side.
Thornton in the south suburbs. I grew up on the west side till I was about like 12. And then I went out to Harvey
Okay,
to go to a different high school.
okay.
Yeah.
And then, so isn't it cool to put Chicago in? Like Kanye put Chicago in his rap, Twista put Chicago in his rap. You as well represent Chicago to the fullest, and that's a lot of people appreciate that. If they don't tell you,
For sure.
we appreciate that you always represent Chicago, because a lot of people represent ATL, New York, you know,
Right.
down south. It's always good to have people from Chicago. Let it be known that Chicago is definitely on the map right now.
Oh yeah, we're the best city in the whole wide world.
I agree. I agree
Yeah.
100%. But because there really weren't that many people from Chicago doing it, I mean, like you said, Kanye, Twista, R. Kelly, but like that was really about it. Who did you look up to? Was there anyone in Chicago that you were like, oh, man?
Yeah, Crucial Conflict.
Right, okay,
You know
cool.
what I'm saying? Psychodrama.
Yeah.
My man JD Walker, DA Smart, tons of Chi-Town talent, Triple Darkness, Children of the Ghetto, all the kind of West Side dudes that had acclaim. You know what I'm saying? And even some of the South Side cats. But those were like the early dudes.
I'm from
Actually,
the North Side. You know anybody from the North Side?
who's on the North
The
Side?
Cubs.
The
Chicago
Cubs.
Cubs,
Yeah,
man.
Chicago Cubs.
But like all those guys you named.
Nah, the underground scene on the North Side was very dope, but that was like a distance. That was like
Yeah.
so far. That
And
was
that's
like
the
a
funny
whole
thing,
other side.
like people think that. Like when I was growing up, I grew up on the North Side, like you know, Chicago. It was like you never went to the South Side. You know what I mean? It was always like, it seemed like it was like here to LA to get to the South Side. It just seems so far. But now that you're older, it's like you go to the South Side all the time. And it's
Yeah.
not the distance from when when you're a shorty to now at your age now. You know, there really is no distance, and everybody basically raps about the same things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all this, like what happens on the South Side definitely happens on the North Side.
Yeah,
It's Chicago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
And we wrap it all
Chicago
up.
I grew up at
experience.
Woodfield Mall. We got rough over there, dude. You know, Woodfield Mall is not to be
Not to be played with.
Not to be
It
played with.
surely ain't.
But, no, for real, man. I mean, all the guys you were naming are all very talented. I'm actually a big Crucial Conflict fan, but like they never really were mainstream. So where was your head at? What were your goals? What did you want to accomplish as a rapper? You know, from Chicago. Like, how did you looked up to those guys, but they never really were the MTV, the BET type groups. You know?
I don't know. I think for a minute I was kind of stuck on that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because to me that was success.
That was making it.
You know, that was success.
Right.
And then it just went to actually getting in the industry, and then my fans changed early.
Mhm.
You know, like Jay-Z would come to Chicago and be like, "Yo, Lupe, come to my hotel." You
That's
know,
great,
like, oh,
right.
what's going on, Jay? How you doing? You know, and so it just started expanded really right after high school, right out of Thornton. I got my first record deal with Epic Records, and it was like at 18 I was in the industry,
Mhm.
so it just started to change. I started to compete like on a high level, like right off the bat, and this was like 2000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in this game with a deal, everything rock and rolling, battling, running around here, all across the country. And so you pull that over 7, 8 years now, you know, it's like I done everything. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
right.
saying? We got our first Grammy for a record we did on Beyonce.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like on the Dangerously in Love record. So it's
Really?
like I've seen it before Food and Liquor, before like it's like, yeah, I need this.
Uh-huh.
I gotta have that. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So I always look at the shining tower that is B96. And we'll hope that one day that I would sit.
And
on
the dream
Comcast.
has been accomplished, man.
I like the way he set it up.
I
though.
know. Very dramatic, Lupe. Very dramatic.
Do you think being on Kanye's Touch the Sky, do you think Lace and the Flow on there, do you think that opened up like a lot more a wider audience for you because of being on a Kanye track?
Oh yeah, definitely. It took everything that we did thus far, because I already had the Jay-Z co-signature. I already had the Rakim. I already had the acclaim within the industry, you know. But it was a matter of like, now how we gonna turn that on, you know? And it was like Touch the Sky. Right. You know, and then right after that, we was like, let's take that momentum and then kick push. You know what I'm saying? It was like everything that we were doing and building for those years just kind of got turned on.
What means more to you, critically acclaimed or commercially successful? Because you've been critically acclaimed from day one. People are just like, he's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, but do you want to? I mean, like, is that enough for you, or do you want to be like the 10 million seller that, like, you know, that Kanye is, or whatever?
Well, I think in this stage in my career, it's best to get that critical acclaim.
Right, for
you
sure.
know, because if you look at the people that just go straight to the top really fast, they have nothing to fall back on. All that fans are kind of for the moment.
Yeah.
And not even to the point like a one hit, like not even like a one hit wonder. They might have an album and it might your second single, third single, but it's like, you know, a year, 2 years. There's no depth. There's no foundation. You know. So one thing we did was we just got a foundation. We've been on 6 world tours. Like it's international. So for me to get the 4 Grammy nominations, to get the BET Award and all those kind of nominations and all the GQ Man of the Year for 2016.
Congrats on that too.
To get that stuff and know we had a solid fan base. Now we like, let's go sell some records. Right. You know, because now we know if we go out there and we get a big hit record, that it's gonna last. It's gonna last longer.
For sure.
And do you think your fans appreciate that too? They were down for you from day one. I mean, now they look at you and you are, like you just said, GQ Man of the Year. Do you think like some of the underground fans are like, is he selling out?
Oh no, not at all. Because we keep it the way I did it. We didn't concede anything. You know, I didn't compromise anything. We sold 400,000 records of Food and Liquor off of Kick Push.
Yes.
You know, off of songs like Daydreaming that had that message that stayed true to my fan base. You know, and even now with the Cool, you know, we're on schedule to do like 200,000 the first week or something nice.
Wow.
Congrats.
Thank you. So even with that album, you know, it's dense. You know what I'm saying? It's Dumb It Down was the first single where people couldn't even understand the verses, you know. And so my fans love that. My fans love that. And all the commercial appeal that we got was just off that. Like, it's just like some commercial fans and then like a whole mess of diehard fans.